if you were to retire now, has the dream been fulfilled?
If I were to retire now, for the most part, it would be fulfilled, honestly. I feel like I was able to get a lot out of my body. I've asked it for a lot for many years, and I've been blessed to be able to make it to 31 years strong, still running, still putting up, really good times on the board.
Yeah.
The only thing I would say that I would like to achieve is our Olympic medal. I would love to achieve our Olympic medal because over the years I've been able to achieve every medal at every championship I've been to, from the Carifta level to the world indoors, the world championships, Commonwealth Games, all these things. So the Olympic medal is one of the medals that I definitely won, but satisfied, I would say yes. I've been able to go sub 10.2, sub 20 seconds, and sub 44 seconds. So it's a blessing. It has been a blessing of our career.
I think I missed out, as you mentioned, I missed out in the introduction, you being the world indoor champion. I think I missed that out. But let's talk this season. You started off the season pretty decent. You had the world lead at a point in time in 200 meters. Then you started to have some so to speak, in local balance races. Then you came back at a bang, winning the 400 meters over in where was that? Was it
Lucerne, Switzerland?
Switzerland.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. How are you feeling? How is your body feeling heading into this weekend? And how do you feel about your progression heading into Tokyo? Have you? And this is something that I always say in terms of peaking. When we speak about athletes peaking, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I always have conversations about this. I say, early in the season, I don't pay attention to who's peaking. Midway through, maybe, the consistency can start from there. But I think heading in now to August, heading into the last 4 weeks of the championships is when we really get an idea of who's almost there or who's there. How are you feeling right now?
I mean, I feel great. I trust in my coach, I trust in God, I trust in the process. I think sometimes we get caught up in being patient within the journey.
Yeah.
As you said, I ran a world lead early in the season, and in layman terms had some so-so races. A lot of people wouldn't know, but I train like a 400-meter runner and then run the 200 meters.
Okay.
So the 200 isn't an event that I train for. I train as a 400 guy and then come down to the 2. So what the 200 does, it kind of is like training for me.
Yeah.
Now, don't get me wrong. I ran a world lead early in the year. I was sprinting a little bit more at that point in time. I was fresh off a 100-meter PR, 10:16.
Yeah. Yes.
So the speed was there, and it's not that the speed not there, but the formula that coach has for me is a process that I have to trust. So to be able to be fit and fast in both events, sometimes you have to put something on the back burner and then work on this, or put speed on the back burner and work on strength. And I'm in the phase where at least the last few weeks, I've just been working 400 meters. Because I'm running the 200 meters this weekend, I would speed up a little bit and do a little bit more sprints now, tailored to that. But basically, that is basically it for where I'm at in the season. I couldn't remember the other part of the question.
That's okay. A lot of youngsters in the country dream, and I'm sure you're aware, but there are a lot of youngsters in the country. And I often see you when you're at the stadium. And one of the things I appreciate and I like about you is that when you're home, right? You walk through the stadium, you do the crowd. You're never shy to take a picture with anyone to say something. A lot of youngsters look up to you because they see you out there on the circuit competing with the best of the world, rubbing shoulders with the best in the world. The Noah Lyles, the Wade Van Niekerk, they see you out there, and it is their dream to get there one day, right? As an athlete, and I could probably say now as an ambassador, how do you plan to incorporate being an ambassador to the youngsters, and what do you think you can do to help them or inspire them to get to the elite level?
In terms of thinking of inspiring the next generation of athletes, I think me currently being an athlete and also trying to inspire, the easiest route for me is mentorship. Being able to communicate with them. That's why specifically when you see me locally, I would go take pictures with people, I would answer questions. Even if I'm not here, some youngsters would message me on Instagram and wherever.
You respond to them?
I would respond to them.
That's
and give them the advice, because I think it's important. I remember growing up, it wasn't very easy for me to have access to some of our top athletes. And there were a lot of questions that I would have had and maybe wouldn't have gotten an answer until maybe I saw them in person. So I want to be able to be that athlete that is currently doing well, but also is accessible to the younger generation. To be there to motivate them, to answer questions that they may have, and show them that it is possible for somebody from Trinidad and Tobago to be on that world stage, to be one of the best in the world. Because I think sometimes it's just difficult being from a smaller country, seeing all the Americans and the different country athletes excel, and you're kind of telling yourself, well, they're only good because they're from that country. But I want to be able to be one of those athletes to show them that in Trinidad and Tobago we could definitely be at the top of the podium. We can be world beaters also. So I think that's the most important thing, to inspire the next generation and show them that the dreams and aspirations that they would have for themselves is attainable and achievable.
So you're in the blocks. Noah Lyles is down the block from you or behind you, and he's carrying on, as we say in Trinidad and Tobago here, all the theatrics. How do you remain focused on your race with all the attention and the theatrics, as I said, of Noah Lyles?
Well, in terms of competitors, I strongly and firmly believe that I am my biggest competitor, regardless of what anyone else does in a race. Noah is a very confident, and he shows his confidence by, his physical gestures.
Right.
But me personally, I can't control what Noah does, regardless of anybody else in the race.
Yeah.
But what I could take control of is me.
Yeah.
Why I say I'm my biggest competitor, because I dictate how well I do in a race.
Okay.
The more locked in and the more focused that I am, the better that I get out of my body. So to answer your question, it doesn't bother me.
Okay.
Yeah.
You share a close friendship with Wade Van Niekerk, the South African. I've observed over the years. Where did that start, and how is that?
It actually started in 2017. We both would have ran the same time in the 200-meter final at World Championships.
Yeah.
Him finishing second, I finishing third by a thousandth of a second, I believe. And since there, we communicated a little bit. And I fast forward to maybe a year or two after, I had a commercial shoot in South Africa with Adidas.
Okay.
And he was there, and we ended up doing a training session together. And we started to talk a little bit more. And fast forward another year or two, I remember just getting a message from him, and he was like, "Bro, I'm going to be training with you next year." And I was like, "For real?" He was like, "Yeah." So he ended up moving to the same camp, and I had just recently moved also.
Right. Is it Florida?
Yes, yeah, in Claremont, Florida, under Coach Lance Drummond.
Right.
And since then, we always had a good relationship. He's like family to me. That's like my big brother. And one thing I really appreciate him for is, in this world, it's hard to find someone in sport, in the same sport as you and in the same events as you run, that not only wants you to do well, but wants you to become better.
For sure. I feel that 100, yeah.
And outside of just being someone to push me to become better, he's a good mentor, he's a good role model, you know. So we had a lot of things that we could have related to with each other, and he's definitely an all-round really good person to me, to my family, and I consider him and his family my family.
How is that journey, speaking of family, how is that journey of being a husband, being a father? I think he got married in 2020, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, right here actually too.
Yeah? How has that journey been? And how is that support system? Because I know of the demands of being a husband and a father. How do you juggle that now?
How do I juggle being a husband, a father? My support system, honestly, and an athlete, my support system, honestly, is very supportive of that. My wife does a really good job of doing everything to make me comfortable so I could do what I need to do as a professional athlete. You know, my parents do the same, and I also in turn do my best to be a really good husband and, you know, give all my time back where I can and be a really good father too. It's difficult at times because, you know, juggling training and then coming home, trying to get a little bit of rest, being a husband, being a dad, being an active dad, and trying to fit all those things into places is definitely difficult. To me, one of the hardest things is, you know, traveling away from my family.
Yeah.
Because the connection that we have, I don't want to be away from my daughter. I feel like as a dad, you don't want to miss anything, you know, and it's just that tough moments and those tough decisions where you realize that in order for my family to be comfortable, these are some of the sacrifices that I would have to make as a man, you know. So, yeah. You know, I just go into it and tell myself, convince myself that, you know, if I do X, Y, and Z, I would be able to support my family. So I just focus on that, but it's a great feeling. I love my wife, I love my daughter. It's a blessing to me, and I just really appreciate the way that they support me and make life easy for me so I can make life easy for them.
Good. I mean, you spoke earlier about the Olympics, and you spoke about your aspirations and in terms of wanting that Olympic medal to add to everything that you've achieved so far. If you're realistic, Dream, is that, I mean, yes, the dream is still there. I mean, you still believe it can happen. What can we do as a country, as fans, as administrators, as sponsors? What can we do to help or try your best to get you to achieve this? Because in achieving that, certainly it's not only for yourself, it's for the country. And I think that if there's anything that we can do, we should do it, because you're going down the hill, so to speak. I mean, if you're honest, into your latter stages of your career. And for me, I think it has to be now. It has to be the next Olympics, or it won't happen. How do we get on a program to that journey? What can we
Tailored to just me specifically?
Yeah, tailored to you.
I think just more support on the whole. The way track and field works, think about it as maintaining a very expensive car. Let's say you bring down a Ferrari and you are